Well, welcome everybody. I'm so excited about this. Goodness gracious, I feel like it has been a whole year since Brittany has spoke with us. I know it's not quite, but this is the first Zoom we've done together in 2021, and I'm seriously so excited to have you on here, girl. Always love when you take the time out of your night to pour into my team. So this is going to be geared more towards some new people, which I am just so excited about. So put it in the chat how long you guys have been in. Let us know kind of what we're dealing with here. We've had so many amazing promos these past couple of months. Like, I know we are just, all of our teams are just exuding with new people, and we are seriously so excited not only to welcome you, but to help you start your business strong. And that's what we're here to do tonight, is to help make sure that you are getting all the tools and tips you could possibly want to get your business off the ground and running as fast as you can. So Brittany, if you want to unmute yourself and just introduce yourself and take it away, girl.
Hey guys, I'm so excited. Thank you, Mariah, for having me. And yeah, it's been almost a year because I know I came in and kind of talked with you guys right after I went triple. So it was almost a year ago. So I'm just really excited to be back. So my name is Brittany Bizard. I've been in the business now. Next month, it will be 5 years. And that's just crazy to say. Also, you guys ignore all of this. Thankfully, I took a shower today, but boom season is here, you guys. And this is basically what I'm going to look like. And so if you're brand new and you don't know what boom season is, I just kind of want to talk about that for a little second here, because you guys have seriously joined the business at the perfect time. It's where people are looking for weight loss, for, just to get healthier. They're looking for finances. So it really is the perfect time to do something like this. So welcome. Like I said, I've been in here for about 5 years. And when I first started, you guys, I did not have a single freaking clue what I was doing. I had never done anything like this. If you have never, done anything like this, or maybe you're brand spanking new and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I want you to drop a 1, because I guarantee there's going to be multiple ones. And I want you guys to see that you are absolutely not alone. And that was me. So when I started, this is one of the things that I want to talk with you guys about. Like I said, I didn't know anything. I go back to my Instagram. I had posted all of 2 times before I joined the business. So I knew nothing about Instagram. My Facebook was literally all people from high school. I just didn't know a thing. So if that is you, know that that is okay. Obviously I've made it to triple, which is crazy to think. But that just means that you can too, right? Not knowing anything. And so what I would say to anybody who feels that way is just go be ignorance on fire, you guys. Just go do the things. Whatever systems that you have in place, I know Mariah has amazing systems already set up. So whatever she has, guys, just follow that. And I know even if you don't know what's going on, it can be very overwhelming sometimes. But if you hear somebody, or maybe you guys have a different training or something, and you hear that people are messaging for host to post or doing X, Y, and Z, just go do it. If you don't even know what exactly to do, just go try something.
Let me jump in right there real quick. When you talk about ignorance on fire, this is literally, I love to jump in and talk about this anytime we're talking to newbies, because I feel like it takes the pressure off. So like Brittany was saying, she didn't know what she was doing when she got started, okay? And she's already triple diamond, a VIP in the company. So you don't have to have all of this knowledge to be able to get places. When I got started, guys, no joke, I was selling Thermofite X and telling people I already got their money, and telling them they were getting coffee, because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. But the thing is you don't have to have all of the tools. You don't have to have all of the knowledge, the know-how, the scripts, the everything. You just got to start. Everybody's going to have that same Lord Jesus, don't look at my time hop from when I got started moment. We've all been there. And that's the beauty of being new, is you get to make those mistakes non-judged. Everyone's been there, and we're so accustomed to it. We're so welcoming to that, because we get to learn through that together. Let you take it back.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell my team all the time, you guys, I would rather work with somebody who is willing to have progress versus someone who won't do anything because they only want perfection. I'm always willing to help somebody, just as I'm sure your leaders here are as well, to get through it and to learn how to do things better. So I know, drop it to you guys, if you're somebody who overthinks, if you're I need to make sure that this message is perfect, I don't even know if I want to send it yet, or I have to spend spend 30 minutes doing this opportunity post and it still isn't how I want it. Yeah, lots of people, you guys, I'm that way too. And so when I first got started, I was like, I swear I was going to YouTube and just like, I don't know if you guys have ever watched videos of other leaders and stuff, but they were like saying stuff about their messages. And I was like, pause, type it out, play, pause, type. I was like just trying to do everything that they were doing. And then at the end of the day, I realized that I had spent like 3 hours trying to find this message when I should have just came up with the message or asked someone for a message. And I could have spent those 3 hours messaging. You know what I'm saying? So really try not to overthink. And like I said, I know that she has amazing systems already set up in place. So even if you need to ask somebody, hey, what's a good message? Like, what can I send? That's a whole lot faster than everybody sitting and overthinking. And then, you're just spending more time being income producing.
And we always want that as leaders. Like, I feel like it's so easy when people are jumping in, they're just like, I don't want to bug you. And I know I've already messaged you 30 times today. So like, girl, I'm gonna tell you right now to take that out of your noggin, because as a leader, we thrive on that. If you're coming to me with questions, you have my attention. You are a priority to me because I know you actually want this. I know you're willing to ask the questions. I know you're willing to put the work in. If you're suffering in silence, you have my hands tied. I can't do anything to help you. We love questions. We love when you ask for scripts. We love when you're doing all this as you're learning and as you're going. So don't ever feel like you're a bother. I can tell you any leader in this business will say the same thing. We are here to help, and we are a resource that you should be utilizing and asking those questions.
Sorry, guys. It is like legit bedtime here, and I have 2 kids. So I'm like, it's crazy. So just ignore all the chaos and the extra sounds I'm sure you guys are hearing, okay? Side note, you can be super busy and do this business, right? And that's just the beauty of it too, is just being intentional. So if you're brand new and maybe you have looked at like the KPI, I know I'm like jumping around everywhere to you guys. I just kind of roll with it. But maybe you've looked at the KPI list or something like that, and you're like, I don't know how the heck I'm gonna like fit this into my day. Just know that you can be super busy and work this business. You just have to be intentional. And what I mean by that is whatever system that you guys have, which I know you guys use the KPI list. But if you have anything else like that, you can always pull that out and just literally check mark it off. And if you're brand new, if you know that those are the things that you're supposed to be doing too, just like Mariah said, you can use her or any other leaders in here as a reference and a resource to say, hey, I don't know what number 3 is. Can you help me out with that? And the more that you do that, you guys, the more that you are like growing that muscle, I like to say, because let me just say, I did not start off doing Zooms. I did not start off loving posting. I did not start off loving going live. Like sometimes I still don't like it, but it's a whole lot easier now because I've done the things over and over and I've grown the muscle to be like, oh, I can write an opportunity post in 5 minutes. Oh, I can do this in like 2 seconds. So as you get further along into your business and you're getting more consistent with things, then you're going to learn how to, sorry, you guys, they're wild. But you're going to learn how to be more intentional and how to make sure, you're getting more comfortable. I like to say that confidence is a muscle that we stretch too. So the more that you're doing something, the more you're going to get confident in it. So if you feel like you don't know what you're doing now, or anything like that, that's okay. The more you do something, the more you're going to feel comfortable. Mariah, do you have anything to add, or you just want me to
Yes, I love that. I love the analogy, and I don't know why we don't break it down like that sometimes. Like, it is just working that muscle. Like, if you go into the gym on day 1, you're not going to go put 245s on the bar and just like crank it out. Like, it's not going to happen. That is such an unrealistic expectation. Yet so often in our brains, we imagine ourselves walking in and doing that on the first try. And so we go into so much with the mentality that like, this is what I should be able to do. Like, I see all these other people, like that person I joined and this other person who joined a couple days before me. I see her in the chat and she's over here pumping them out. Like, wait, what about me? But everyone has to train and learn and work those muscles individually. Like, you're not going to walk into the gym the same day 1 and have the same results as your best friend is going to be. And it's so important to just remember that and to just find the beauty in that you get to just now write your own story. You get to work your own muscles. You get to allow God to work into your life and business in a totally different way as someone else that may have joined your team the exact same day. It's so amazing. And it is that muscle mentality. The more you do it, the easier it gets. When I got started, I hated host to post. Well, actually, it started before host to post, but when host to post came around, I hated it. Oh my gosh. I thought it was so stupid. I didn't like messaging people. I felt like I was wasting my time. I hated it. But today, 3 years later, you can ask me if I'm going to do one task that I know I'm going to get results from. If I can do one task that is my favorite, hands down, I'm going to tell you host to post. And I'm going to tell you I can out host to post you any day of the week. And it's not because I showed up on day one and was just cranking them out, but it's because 3 years of consistency of every day pushing and lifting the bar a little bit and a little bit and a little bit more. And that's all this business is learning those simple things was what we do every day, our daily steps and all of that. They're so simple. And it's just learning to do those again and to do those again and to do those double and to do those a little bit more. And doing that is going to work this muscle and create in you a business and a future and a possibility bigger than anything you could imagine. And it just starts with going into the gym. It just starts with picking up that first weight. I love that analogy.
Yes, so good. And something that I still tell my team, actually, Mariah, when I was going triple, she and I talked all the time. And the one thing that she said to me was, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? I literally still talk about that all the time, because it's so true. So if you're looking at this KPI list and you're like, I don't know where to start, my suggestion would be to eat the bite of the elephant that scares you the most. So maybe it is messaging, or maybe it is host to post. Whatever it is, if you start with that, then, well, first of all, you started, congratulations, right? It's so much easier to keep going. But second, the rest of your day is going to be so much easier because you already got that hard thing out of the way. For me, usually that's messaging. Because I just want to get it done. And then as people are messaging me throughout the day, all I'm doing is having conversations. Like if I want to send more messages, I can, but because I've already done that, I'm just having the natural conversations. You know what I mean? And I wasn't, unless you wanted me to, like, to talk about specific tasks, just because I know that you guys kind of have the list.
You're good. I want you just to go with whatever you feel the spirit taking you.
Okay, perfect. That's my type of Zoom, because as you can see, I'm just everywhere. But this business just excites me so much. And I think that that's the first thing. As long as you're excited and you're just willing to take another step. And like she said, raise the bar a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then before you know it, your team's going to grow a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And you're going to be like, I don't even know how I got here, but I'm just so thankful that I am. And I realize that starts obviously on smaller scales. As you get started, you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just need to make it happen. But that is the mindset that you have to have. So wherever you are right now, just knowing that I like to say it as like a bird's eye view, you're looking ahead, and that like, I'm doing this today and it's going to give me this next week. And I'm doing this today and it's going to give me this next month. And just realizing that you have such a big potential here. You can literally do anything you want to, as long as you have that mindset to know that what you're doing today is going to impact your tomorrow. And I can promise you, it absolutely will. It might not be directly tomorrow, might not be directly next week, but you put in the effort and you stay consistent and you just do it over and over and over. And you grow that muscle over and over and over. And before you know it, you're like, I don't know how I got here, but let's teach everybody to go here because it's awesome, right? So basically,
I love that. I'm going to jump in right there. I love that you keep just saying, like, I don't know how I got here. And one day you'll be able to say, I don't know how I got here, but like, and guys, that's so the truth. Like, it doesn't matter what level you're at, as you start progressing, you're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know how I got here. I remember when I went double diamond and I was making, insert income disclosure statement, I was making above average checks. I was seeing $8,000 checks every month. And people want to know, what'd you do? What'd you do? And look, y'all, I still had I don't know how I got here. I was the same person I was when I joined. I came with the same knowledge set as when I joined. I came with the same limiting beliefs as when I joined. I was just making a lot more money now. And the coolest part about it is it's so crazy because anytime you get someone in that limelight, all they know how to say is, well, I was just doing the things. And the things are the same things you guys are learning today. So those same host to post and those same messages and those same follow-ups and those same posts are the same things that are going to get you your first customer and also going to get you your 1,000th customer. There's nothing you're going to learn that's going to be magic along the way. You get to come in and right at the beginning, learn those tools that the number one income earner is using every day. How freaking exciting is that? You guys get to walk into the door of a possibility of a future making $10,000 a month just doing the thing that you learned on day one. That is just the beauty of this. I just love how simple it is to get in and start getting to work. So I'll throw it back to you. You can keep on going.
Yes, I love it. And you guys, even if, which I know that Mariah's training is on point, I know that y'all systems are amazing. I know that you guys have the boards, like use those resources. But let me tell you, when I first started, I was telling y'all, right? I was going back to YouTube and I was like, oh, Jade said this. Let me type it out. Oh, and like it was awful. It was awful. Not hers, but like some of the ones that like I was making and creating and all this stuff, they were awful. I go back through my Instagram all the time because like that's how I follow up with people. And I'm like, I don't know why I sent this message, but you know what, you guys? I still signed customers. I still signed people. And it was because I kept going. And truthfully, I didn't know that my messages were awful. I was just like, this is great. I'm doing awesome. And so my mindset was, I'm going to sign people. I'm going to help them. I'm going to teach new people. I'm going to help them. And so I think that that's the key is if you have the mindset of knowing that like, what you're doing is making an impact. The people that you're going to be talking to, you're going to be helping them. Like that type of mindset, people are going to feed off of that, right? So even if you're using certain scripts or whatever, like people can still feel you based on like maybe your voice messaging or maybe it's your posting, things like that. Like they're still going to be able to feel who you are and feel that like you're wanting to help them because you have that mindset. And also side note, I heard this a couple weeks ago and it sounds so simple, but something that I heard was if you are sitting like this, right? Like you're sitting so closed off to everything. But if you sit up like with your chest open and you're just like really ready to receive anything, and I know it sounds silly, but that like really just opens up your mindset and like opens up your blessings so much more. So I will literally never message like this anymore. I always message like looking up, I'm ready to receive everything. And I just feel so much better. Like I said, I know it sounds silly, but it has helped me so much, just like getting up and getting excited and wanting to talk to people. And then just like having that mindset of being able to help people. I think that that's just the biggest thing. So
I love that you were talking about posture. I just love that. I remember, I think like when I got started, I think that is the only thing that got me through was that mindset. And I love how it is so physical sometimes, like literally, if you just change the way you're sitting. One of the people I look up to most in this business is Kelly Brown, and she talks about negativity and how if she's sitting at her desk and she starts getting a negative thought. So she's sitting here messaging. She's like, oh, no one's going to post for me. She's like, I don't do this negativity. And she will get up and go move to somewhere else in her house, sit down and keep working. If she's sitting on the couch now and gets another thought, oh, no one's going to buy, she says, and she gets up and she goes and moves somewhere else in her house. There's so much power in positive thinking. There's so much power in the way you're carrying yourself and the energy that you are putting out there. I can guarantee you, I don't care if you're new, because I know we've got new people on here. I don't care if you're old, because I know we got some old people on here. If you are messaging with the mindset, I won't get a customer, I'm not going to do this, why would they say yes? It does not matter what you say. It does not matter how many messages you get out. The success is not coming. You're going to feel like you are constantly running yourself into a brick wall. And it's not because of what you're doing is wrong. It's because you have stinking thinking in your head. You can send those same messages to the same amount of people, and you can just say, God's got this. Everybody wants my products. That was one of the ones I used to say all the time. Before I would get a message for host to post at all, I would say, everyone wants to post for me. Then I would message. When I was trying to get a customer, when I would send the pricing script, I would just pray and I would be like, Lord Jesus, bless their wallet. It's so simple. It's so silly, but I was putting so much positive energy out there. The customers were just coming in. And it wasn't anything I was doing special because there's nothing special you can do. We're all doing the same thing. But when you can go into it with that special mentality, that mentality is the thing that's going to differentiate of whether you're going to be successful or not. The mentality is going to be the thing that decides if you're going to promote this month or not, if you're going to get your first customer tomorrow or not. It's not what you're doing, it's what you're thinking, it's what you're saying, and it's what you're believing. And I know it's not necessarily when you're hopping on here, it's a newbie call. And I remember getting on calls as a newbie. I just wanted to like sit down and you be like, okay, do this, say this. Okay, bye-bye. This is what we're doing. And if someone was going to talk to me about personal development or mental state or positive thinking, I would have thinking it was a load of crap and I'm wasting my time. So I'm sure somebody on here is thinking that too. But I can promise you, if I could go back in time to the me when I got started and give her any advice at all, it would be to control your mind first, to get ahead of those thoughts first, to believe you can actually do this, because who knows what could happen. So throw it back.
Yeah, no, amen. Because I ask that question all the time, especially when I was like really trying to figure out what the heck was going on. Because by the way, you guys, I didn't promote to Ruby for 2 years. So I've been in the crappy mindset. I've been in the, oh, nobody wants this, I don't know what I'm doing, all of that. I've been there. And so something that I was doing was like, what are these people that are promoting doing? Like, what are they doing? What are they teaching their teams? And every time I kept hearing self-development, be positive, like all these things. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give it a try. Right. And then 5 months later, I went double. So I'm telling you, if you can stay positive, just like she said, and not all the time, you guys, we're all human. We're always going to have thoughts. We're always going to have, us trying to like have neutral thinking and things like that. It's going to happen. But if, like she said, if you can take control of it and know and notice, like a lot of times I'll notice, oh, a bad thought's going to come like this. I need to, go do self-development, watch a video, or even just put my phone down, you guys, just because like you don't have to like always be on your phone, especially if you are having the negative thoughts, because it's probably not going to pay off anyways if you're in a negative mindset. So just staying in that positivity. And something that I noticed the other day too, or I noticed as I'm doing it, but like if I am messaging people just like she said, and I'm like, people want to help me out, people want to help me out, that's what I tell myself when I am doing host to post. So many people will post for me, and it's just like she said, it's just a mindset thing. So to anybody who is like, I don't know how to start my day positive, I don't know how to stay in a positive mindset, I suggest journaling. If you guys don't know, yes, exactly. If you guys don't know, Cheyenne Knox does a journaling Zoom at 10 a.m. Eastern, and it is awesome. It is so good. But if you're working or if that time isn't suitable for you, I also go to Pinterest and I'll just look up like journaling topics. And sometimes they are completely non-related to business and life, or that aspect of life, but just being able, yes, I love Pinterest, just being able to get yourself in the right mindset, even if it's just about what's going on in your life, can really impact your business life too. So I would suggest starting with journaling. And now, aside from mindset, I know I spent a lot of time on that, you guys, but that honestly is such a huge part of the business. If you have the mindset and the belief to do, maybe it is get your 6 customers, maybe you're going for a promotion this month, maybe you're helping someone on your team get the emerald bonus, like whatever it is, if you have that mindset and that belief, then you can do anything. So that is why I spent a lot of time on it. But aside from that, I would just say that the next thing is just communication, just having such an open line of communication. If you are brand new, I would be messaging your upline every single day. And the absolute biggest thing I can tell you about that is always be willing to say, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do next? The people who have gone like quickly and higher up in my organization are people that, I'll say, hey, we need to get a post up. And they're like, okay, what's next? We need to go sign a customer. Okay, what's next? You need to sign another customer. Like the people who are just willing to continue going, because success loves speed, are the people who get there so quickly. And it just like, it happens. And I know that that's like really irritating if you're like, I don't know how it happens, but I promise you, just be willing to say, okay, I did that. What's next? I did that. What's next? I did that. What's next? And having that communication, because that's how you're going to learn. That's how you're going to grow. And like I said, the people and the leadership in here, I know that you guys have people who can help get you to where you want to go, right? If you want to get to where someone is, do the things that they're doing, right? So having that. Now, if you are somebody who maybe you already have a team, actually, I think we're on 4. I don't know what number we're on, but if you have a distributor, will you drop a 4? A distributor on your like personal team. Yay. Okay. So just as you want people to be reaching out to you, make sure that you're reaching out to your downline too, having that communication with them. Hey, what can I help you with today? Hey, I noticed you didn't get a post up today. How can I help you get one up? How's host to post going? Just really having those open lines of communication, because I can tell you guys, every single time that I notice that, like, oh, well, I signed her, but she isn't necessarily doing so much. Let me go see what's going on, or something like that. Almost every single time I have a conversation with them and we just open and figure out, like, we're solution minded, right? We're like, what can we fix? Where can we go from here? Almost every single time they go and immediately sign a customer. That just happened 2 nights ago. The girl was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong with host to post. Like, I don't know. I'm just not really getting any comments. And we kind of talked about it. And 30 minutes later, she signed 2 customers. So I just highly recommend having communication in all aspects of your chart, whether it's upline, downline, whatever, because you're going to be able to figure out what's wrong, fix it, and then see that success.
Yes, I want to jump in on that. For those of you who did put a 4 in the comments, if you guys are new, keep listening, because one day you're going to want to hear this piece of advice. But the rest of y'all that have already been in a minute, guys, I was on a leadership call with Tiffany Herr once, and she said something that really just changed the game for me when it does come to leadership with the new people we're bringing in and taking care of, is to not be like so full of yourself that you think you're too good to go do extra for them. And I was like, And she's like, if you see someone who's having a bad day on your team, don't think that you're too good to reach out and be like, do you want me to make a post for you to put up today? Like, will that help? And just, it kind of brought a whole new light to really going the extra mile, and really that servant leadership role of stepping in and seeing when you do have those girls on your team who, like Brittany is saying, maybe they're not posting right now, or maybe you haven't heard from them, whatever, reaching out, and not just like, hey, you need to start posting. Hey, you need to do this, which it's so easy as a leader to step into the role of like, honey, you want to go, like, you need to go do this. But sometimes they just need someone to step back and be like, what can I do? Like, would it help if I sent you a post every couple days with some scripts? Like, would that help you out right now? And that goes so far in a leadership, because you start building that relationship, and that goes so far to help out those new people that you do see kind of coming and going here sometimes. So I just wanted to throw that in there with that.
Yeah, no, that is so good. I actually wrote that down because it was so good. But I want to say too, while we're just on that subject, if you are having people who, like, you are having to kind of step up and be a more of a servant leader and that type of thing, I want to remind you guys that part of our compensation plan is paying leaders extra. So yeah, you might be doing things now that you're like, I'm not seeing payment for that. Like, I promise you, you will. If you pour into your team, then you will. So just side note there. But okay, so I talked about mindset, communication, and just going for it. And that's really, yes, 50, 50, 50, love it. But that's really it, you guys. Communicate, be consistent, and just go do the things. I know that it's hard. If you're like, I still don't know what I'm doing, do it anyway, right? Like, you get off this Zoom, you're like, I know she talked about KPI, maybe I should go print that off. Yes, go print it off. Right? If you heard me talking about messaging, you're like, maybe I should go send a message. Yes, anything you hear, whether it is on your system of training, or you hear it from Mariah, or you hear it from YouTube, just go do it, you guys. We're not always going to be perfect. We're not always going to have all the right answers, but doing something is a heck of a lot better than doing nothing. And doing that something over and over and over and over and over and over, you're growing that muscle, right? And then you're getting more intentional, and then you're growing your team, and then you're growing your paycheck, and then you're getting the leadership bonuses, and you're like, sister, I don't know how it happened. And then you're going to be on here on a Zoom saying, I don't know how it happened, but I'm here, right? And it's just because you put one foot in front of the other. So that's all I got.
That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for taking time out of your night. I know it's a little bit earlier and you got all those kids running around, but I just love the functionality. I love anytime a mom is on a Zoom and kids are making noise. It just makes my heart so happy, because it just proves that we're all human, and that any single person can do this. Like, you can have your kids running around the background. I thought my mic was muted earlier, and my husband was trying to get the dogs in, like whistling, and I'm like, crap, I'm interrupting. Like, we all are real people. We are all silly and making mistakes and living our own mess of a life. And I just love that, because it just shows you guys that you don't have to be perfect. Even like 3 years down the road, guess what, guys? You're still not going to be perfect. You're just going to be imperfect with some new muscles that we've been working on tonight, and we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to do those consistent efforts. And most importantly, you guys are going to learn to believe in yourself as much as we believe in you. That's one of the most beautiful things leadership has taught me, is I get to love and believe in people, and I get to look into people and see things that they can't see yet, and I get to call that out. And I'm so excited to watch all of you guys grow into those leaders, to grow your businesses, and to change your life. You all joined for a reason, and that reason is within grasp. Like she talked about at the very beginning of this, you could not have joined at a better time. This is going to be such an easy time to gain momentum, to start seeing those changes, those paychecks, those belief shifts, all of that right here. It's so close, but you've got to do the work to get there. You've got to trust yourself. You've got to fail forward. You've got to trust your leader, and together we are going to work your way to the top. And so I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your night, Brittany, for hopping on, and thank you everyone else who took time out of their night to hop on here. If you guys are leaders on, I will have this on my YouTube.